Welcome to Mind Changers Podcast. Listen, we have a really, really good, exciting episode. And listen, Shann is ready for you guys tonight. I mean, he has a lot to say tonight. Am I right, Shann?
Yeah, I got a lot to say. I might go on a tangent monologue tonight.
Well, listen. I'm going to be the co-pilot today, and I'm going to let you pilot this ship, all right? But you know,
All right.
we got to come in like this, man.
Mind Changers International, changing lives for the better. Our vision is to be a transformative platform that exposes lies and reveals the truth. Mind Changers International, we on a mission, masking the falsehoods with every new edition. We're here to enlighten your mind with this vibration, expose the lies, speaking truth, normal conversations. Mind Changers International, we on a mission, masking the falsehoods.
Welcome back. I'm one of your hosts, Lamar Blakney, and I got my buddy Shann Atkinson.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm so glad to see y'all all here tonight. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, listen, we're going to have a really, really exciting episode tonight. So, listen, tell your friends and your family that, Mind Changers Podcast is on the air. And we are super, super excited because we have...
We're a little late. We're a little late tonight. We do apologize. Technical difficulties. Yes. The internet can be a cruel person sometimes.
Yes, it can be. But you know what? Hey, we are here today.
Yes, we are.
Shann, before we get started, I want to know out there, and please comment. Let me know if you guys have been doing your research on Project 2025. Let us know if you have some questions. I mean, we want you to put your comments in there. We want you to, just let us know, man. Let us know where you stand.
Let us know
how you feel about Project 2025. And do you agree with the policies? Do you agree with what we are about to be facing if we take a conservative presidential candidate and place him into the White House? And I can't say I will be comfortable because I took the time to really, really check into what Project 2025 is all about and how it's going to affect our children's children, our grandparents, our parents, and so on. And so, Shann, man, since we had our last episode, which was a phenomenal episode, listen,
it was
last week we got 33,400 plays.
Yes.
So listen, share this with family and friends. Share with everybody you know, because some people don't want to read a 922-page manifesto about something that's so deep and detailed. And they did that for a reason, people. Yes. They did that because they want you to have to research the research.
Yes.
They want you to get frustrated and say, man, I'm not reading all of this, because half of us don't have the patience to read such a huge manifesto. So, Shann, since last week, man, what's your thoughts about what we've seen on the news? We've heard about Donald Trump. We've heard about the campaign. And listen, we're not pushing any presidential candidate.
No.
All we're talking about is who's going to bring the right policies.
Yeah.
The less of
what
the two.
Or what kind of policies is going to bring. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's right. So, Shann, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to just thank all the 3,400 people that just decided to listen to us. I've never had 3,400 people that care anything that I've ever had to say, and I from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. It warms my heart. I feel gratitude that 3,000 people cared enough to watch us, man. So thank you all for tuning in, and like I said, all you 3,400. Do one share so we can hit 6,800 this time. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. But going into what I've seen, it just seems like the Trump campaign is ramping up the racist remarks, ramping up the homophobic remarks, ramping up the misogynistic remarks. They're taking it to a whole nother level now that they've been exposed, because they kind of feel vindicated, like, okay, we don't have to be we ain't got to be secret no more. You know what we are, you know how we feel, so we're going to take it to a whole nother level.
And you know, Sean, we talked about this last week. Um, and when I say this, please hear my heart. Hear my heart. We have a lot of our spiritual leaders, our pastors, our bishops. We need to educate our people on Project 2025. It's not a conspiracy. It's a document. It's not a conspiracy. It's a movement. It's not a conspiracy. It is policies that is going to undermine our government, and it's going to put take us to authoritarianism, and it's going to put an autocrat in a position of power that we have no power. We have no voice. We're not going to be able to vote. Our children may be forced to go into the military because now all public school young people have to take the ASVAB, the military military exam, entrance exam. Now, if your kids have to do that, that's called the clue. The clue is why. Why are they taking it? Are you going to force a draft? I mean, we don't have any idea. You know, it's an erosion of democracy. That's what it is. It's erosion of democracy. And not only that, it's going to promote a political weakness in our democratic institutions and undermine the rule of law. We have the rule of law to protect us. The rule of law is there to protect even them from themselves. If there's nobody to control one man, do you know how dangerous that is? That one man has such power that he's making all the decisions for us. And I want to paint a picture before we move any forward, Sean. If you close your eyes and imagine you have no more voice, you can cry, whine, do whatever you want to do. You have no voice. Where a president will pick your governor. He will pick your congressman, and he will put people in power who are not educated, who are not qualified to run the governmental offices. Listen, I celebrate our brothers and sisters who work for the federal government. I celebrate you because your job is greater than some of us know. But Donald Trump plans to fire 50,000. I might got it wrong. Is it 50 or 5,000? 50,000 federal workers and replace them with loyalists. They have a website that's going to train. And I'm just trying to watch my words because I'm edgy. Sean is more subtle, but he's been getting edgy every now and then. I think he's picking up on my edge. But can you imagine putting foolery in a position of power, in a governmental position, running a governmental position that they're not qualified for, just because they went on this website and it shows them and teach them how to undermine the government?
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Hey, man, you good on your babies, man.
My grandchildren are all over the place.
They love Papa.
I know, right? I know,
Listen,
right?
that just lets y'all know we live.
Give me 1 second.
And while Sean is doing that, you know, Project 2025 is a concentration of power, right? And the fear of it could lead to a centralization of power in an executive branch. And that will diminish our checks and balances that are vital for us to have a healthy democracy. That's why we're asking you guys. We're asking you, America. We're asking you, Facebook friends. Share this, because if you don't want to read it, we're going to give you some information. And you can fact check us. Fact check us, because all we're doing is getting it out of the book. So, Sean, do you want to go to the next video?
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that next video and
or the first
kind
video.
of get us. Yeah, go ahead and play that first video and let's just get ourselves going on this whole fiasco.
Okay. Give me one moment, Sean. There we go. Go.
They did put forth legislation on President Trump's first day in office to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. This will give President Trump the authority to arrest and imprison the treasonous officials and subversives who now occupy positions across our government.
Okay, Sean. This your video you sent it to me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Now, let's paint the picture. That is one of the writers and founders of the Heritage Group. That is Project 2025.
That's right.
That's
Now,
speaking at a fundraiser.
and basically what he's saying, Donald Trump wants to have those individuals who in Congress and in government who's ever said anything negative against him, who have tried to have him arrested for creating a coup, for the riots on January the 6th. He wants to put them in prison.
Yes.
When he's the guilty person.
Yes.
He's the guilty
Absolutely.
person. And
Absolutely.
so I'm going to run it back because I want y'all to hear it again, what this man just said about what they going to do if they get into power.
Legislation on President Trump's first day in office to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. This will give President Trump the authority to arrest and imprison the treasonous officials and subversives who now occupy positions across our government.
That guy's running for Congress in the state of Florida and wants to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. And I'm going to tag some attorneys in this, but he wants to suspend the writ of habeas corpus so Donald Trump can lock up all of these people. Understand, the writ of habeas corpus is basically the one thing that offers defendants the ability to not be held illegally by law enforcement or the government or whoever.
I'm going to stop it. Did y'all hear what he just said? You're not going to have any rights. And I forgot what it's called. Due process. You're not going to have any due process. You're going to get no process. You're going to get no progress. You're going to be, that means they can hold you in jail until they get ready.
It also, suspending this right here habeas corpus is the same thing that they do against terrorists at Guantanamo Bay. When they have no due process, they can take them and put them there as long as they want to. They don't need to give them a trial. They don't need to give them anything. What they are proposing is the same thing that they're doing with terrorists across the world that are there in that prison right now. So they don't even have to bring them to court. They could stick them and let them rot in jail forever.
Yeah. And
they could sit there and rot forever.
And Shann, that is beyond evil. That is beyond right. That's out of order. That's so out of order. It's like a soda machine that don't work. It is out of order. They're out of order.
It's out of order.
All right.
And what's so dangerous about it is you have lawmakers that are talking this. Not just the presidential candidate. You have people that are lawmakers that want to get in behind and do this stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the lawmakers and you get enough lawmakers, they could pass it and it can happen.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, I used to watch Billy Graham, and Billy Graham was like, "I want you. God wants you. God wants you all to educate yourself because you better get this kind of wisdom. You need to know what they're trying to do. This is a plot among plots. I mean, they want to manipulate the electoral process. What? This is crazy. But I'm going to play some more, Shann.
That offers defendants the ability to not be held illegally by law enforcement or the government or whoever. It's the part where they literally have to show cause, they have to prove that this person did something as to why they're holding them. If you get rid of that, they can arrest anybody for any reason, and it doesn't matter if they broke the law or not. If all of these people need to be arrested for breaking the law, you don't need to suspend the writ of habeas corpus.
Exactly.
You don't. You only need to get rid of that if you want to detain and arrest people for absolutely no reason. And you don't have to prove that they've done anything wrong. That's the only reason you get rid of that. I'm not...
Now, Shann. That's even crazy.
Yep.
When you don't even have to prove that a person did something wrong.
That's right.
So to diminish habeas corpus is one of the biggest fallacies that I believe that they could even implement in Project 2025.
That's right.
It's crazy. I'm gonna play the rest of it.
Saying anymore because I'm not an attorney and I don't want to misinform. Now, what's a little concerning for me about this guy is that Donald Trump is actually endorsing the person he's running against. And I think we have all seen how well Trump endorsed candidates do in elections the last couple of years. Basically, they suck and they get their ass kicked all the time. So that makes his comments even a little more scarier.
Yep.
Because
Now, Shann, I mean, how much do we have to say before, people really get serious about learning about Project 2025? It's coming. It's here.
It's coming.
It's here. They have finished. They have completed it. And here's the thing, Shann. Here's the thing. The reason why they were so upset about Donald Trump losing, because if he had stayed in the White House when they finished in 2022, boom, he could have elected this. But thanks be to God that the vice president stepped in and said, no, we gotta give Pence a hand clap. we got to give Pence a hand clap, because he could have just said, you know what, Donald Trump, I'm going to go ahead on and do this for you. All right? I'm not going to let them complete all of this for you to be, for Biden to come in. But he didn't. Whatever it was in him, as bad as he hated the Democratic Party, I can say the man hated, because I don't know his heart. As much as he was not on the side of the Democrats, right? Because I got to learn how to watch what I say. He still said, I got to protect democracy.
Right.
So for that, Pence, if you didn't do anything else, that was the greatest act of integrity you've ever done that I know of.
That's right.
And so
Absolutely.
if Donald Trump would have stayed in power, y'all don't understand, we would be up the road.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be an apple tree without apples.
That's right.
We'll be up the road. And
Yes,
I'd have been out in the South too long. I'm saying stuff like up the road. I hope none of my Maryland people heard me say that. I said up the road, Shann. I done lost it.
I know, right?
I done lost it, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So what else? What else did you get from that video, Shann?
Just that it's that this presidency is going to be wrapped up with just chasing his political enemies, doing exactly what Putin does, doing exactly what the North Korean dictator does. I mean, chasing his political enemies, putting them in jail, and leaving them to rot. Plain and simple is what he wants. Because here's the thing, when Project 2025 rolls in, they do also know that democracy doesn't die that day. Democracy won't die that day. If he wins the election, Project 2025 rolls in, and then the first couple of months of his, or the first 6 months to a year, will be riddled with lawsuits after lawsuit after lawsuit to stop anything that he's doing. And he does, and they all know and understand that. If he can go ahead and imprison all the people he knows is going to be that he knows is going to be an adversary to what he's trying to do, then he won't have to worry about all the lawsuits after lawsuits that'll bog down Project 2025.
That's right. That's right. And basically, like I said, it's policy implications on civil rights. We should be concerned that this project can result in policies that adversely affect our civil rights and liberties, particularly our marginalized communities. We have to protect our marginalized communities. So, Shann, if you don't have another thought, I'm going to go to another video.
Go to the next video.
All right.
After you hear 10 more times from the rally, the president, distancing himself from the left's boogeyman at Project 2025.
Yeah. And you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
He's running against a brand He is not running against any people.
Okay.
He is not running against any institutions. It's interesting. He's in fact not even opposing himself to a particular policy. Yeah. He's been at our organization. He's raised money for our organization. He's blessed it from the, I remember walking into our last day in office.
Okay. Did you? I'm gonna rewind this back. This is the co-author of Project 2025. This is a leaked video. He said how much Donald Trump has supported their movement, right? But he says he knows nothing about Project 2025.
Yeah, Trump is quick to say he knows nothing about Project 2025.
I don't know anything. I know they're working on the project, but I don't know anything about Project 2025. I know there's some great guys at the Heritage Group. I just don't know. Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Yes, he
does.
does.
Because
and also too, people, I want everybody to understand that a lot of all these videos that you're seeing, these leaked videos, were actually taken from a major hack of the Republican campaign. It was a major hack, a major data leak. I don't condone that kind of behavior of any kind of data leak or any kind of people hacking into anybody. And I don't condone it. And it's a good thing that we were privy to these kind of videos, or we would never see it. And I would say, everybody, when you get an opportunity, go to ProPublica.org. That's ProPublica.org. It's a great website. They have every one of these leaked training videos that they have out right now.
Yeah, and imagine this, America, Facebook friends. They so crazy that they have training videos. They're going to train the foolery and the fool. The Bible said, "Call a man a fool." These people, these individuals. Because I'm telling y'all, sometimes I can say things because I'm just a straight up person, and sometimes my mouth says it for my brain. Think about it, and then they be like, "I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe you didn't say it." But anyway, see, I just did it again. So let me say this: can you imagine somebody getting trained by experts on how to undermine democracy?
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy.
I mean, this is
crazy.
It's hard. No sense. If I was somebody out there and I hear somebody talking about Project 2025, I probably wouldn't believe them. I'm like, man, ain't nobody gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. Listen, if that's you, you're gonna be one walking around with your head in the air and your nose to the ground because you made a bad mistake. Listen, I'm not a fan of Harris. I'm not a fan of her. I'm not voting for her. I'm voting against Project 2025. So when I say that, she's just the person that I feel at this moment that is going to be better for our democracy. You ain't supposed to like everybody that you got to choose. But do you want Project 2025, no more rights, a president forever, or do you want somebody you just got to deal with for 4 years? I mean, it's simple mathematics to me. What about you, Sean?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the kind of voter I am and the kind of voter that I know that you are, we don't worship our political figures. We half the time we don't like everything they're talking about. Half the time we don't like everything that they stand for. Kamala doesn't. The Democratic Party, I don't stand for everything that they stand for. Yeah. I just definitely do not stand for any of the conservative Project 2025 rhetoric and BS. It's just it's so dangerous. It marginalizes so many people, and it uplifts just a select few, and that is not what our country's about.
Yeah, and listen, hear me well. We're not telling you who to vote for. We're telling you what to vote against.
That's right.
That's the difference. I don't care what color a person is. That's not going to be the reason why I vote for them. I'm voting for policy. I don't like none of This is like the worst NBA draft ever. It's like it's like the worst NBA draft ever in the history of politics. that the
Yeah.
only person that the Republicans can find is read off Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Read off Hitler.
Yeah.
Read off
Yes.
Hitler. That's all they can find. This guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not talking about, man, I got a fly in here. I'm telling, I hate flies, man. I got a fly in here. He must be a Republican. This fly is a Republican. I'm telling y'all. He's just, Donald Trump. It just flew by. But listen, won't y'all leave comments? Because we want to hear from you. Because
Yes.
it may be something that you know that we don't know that you want to share in about Project 2025. Because you may have some great insight that we're missing. We don't want to miss anything because we're not going to stay on this forever. But right now, it's just so much. It's like unpacking a mansion and try to move in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's loaded with wrong.
Yes,
It's loaded with manipulation. It's loaded with racism. It's loaded with man, anti-Christian policies.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's loaded with it. And Sean,
and on page 302, they want to deregulate baby formula. Why would you want to deregulate baby formula? Why would you want to make it? Why would you want to make it less safe? What's that all about?
Ladies, I'm gonna be funny, but get your breasts right. You better get your breasts right because you ain't gonna be able to feed your baby the stuff that they gonna feed.
You won't know what's going on in that daggone formula.
Babies already coming out looking around like they ready to go to school. They don't even come out with their head shaking no more. Sean, babies used to come out, they be like, now babies come out, they be like, yo, what's going on, cuz? Like for real? Like who is the doctor?
I ain't lying.
They looking around now. They talking about baby formula. You done gone wrong when you messing with baby formula.
Exactly.
You've gone wrong. You've gone way left. So Sean, we gonna go to the next video, man. Here we go.
This is Trump's War Room on Twitter, the official War Room account of the 2024 Trump campaign. I need you to see that and understand that this is the official page for the 2024 Trump campaign War Room. This page and anything it posts is endorsed by Trump's campaign and by association is therefore endorsed by Donald Trump. And yesterday they tweeted, "Import the third world, become the third world," along with the exceptionally racist meme that says your neighborhood under Trump, your neighborhood under Kamala.
All right, I'm gonna pause that.
Yep.
Now, are y'all looking at? I'm pointing at the camera. Are y'all looking at that picture?
Yeah.
Now, if you look to that right of that picture, all that's black folks.
That's right.
They're basically saying that
That's right.
we have no common sense. Although I know a couple people who don't. But we don't have no common sense. We don't have no morals, no values. We're just rioters. We're reveling. We are just out here to tear stuff down. That is a bad depiction of Black America.
That is. Absolutely. A horrible depiction.
And then you got a
that's
picture.
You got a picture like saying if you vote for Trump, you're going to have this. If you vote for Kamala, you're going to have black people all in your neighborhood, and it's going to be a horrible place. And not only that, he tags people of color as third world country in this country. That's it. That is just morally wrong. It's just horrible.
Yeah. So, here's my thing, Sean. What is the man impetus to promote such and that word impetus mean motivation? What is his impetus to promote such a evil plan for people of color? People, because even white people ain't white. They light brown. They're a shade of brown. They just like, I ain't seen a white person yet. Now I have seen black people.
Nope.
I ain't gonna lie now. I've seen it. Hello, I come from Africa. I serve Jesus.
They still ain't black.
Yeah,
They
I
just
know,
dark,
bro.
dark
No,
brown. They just dark brown.
Hey, Sean, I seen something so dark. Only way you bump into them if they smile.
Oh my goodness. He said it. He said it. I got nothing to do with it. I got nothing to do with it.
No, I'm just joking, y'all. But for real, this is crazy. So I'm gonna finish playing this video, Sean.
Along with the exceptionally racist meme that says your neighborhood under Trump, your neighborhood under Kamala, with a bunch of black faces doing rioting crime stuff. Trump's campaign posted this. You know, when I make videos of people who are using like racial slurs, it's usually in a moment where they're very upset. They're angry, road rage incidents. They're mad that someone's doing something they don't like. And in that frustration and anger and often fear, they lash out and let their true feelings just fly.
Yep.
Much like Trump's campaign, who is terrified right now about losing the election. And as the NAACP put it, don't just take our word for it. They're showing all of us just how racist they are. This is what's on the ballot for November.
That guy said, this is what's on the ballot for November. And Sean, I'm a little jealous, man. Your background make my background look bad, man. You never do me like that, man.
I know, right?
Brother, you had to do me like that, man.
I'm sorry, brother.
I want to take my little Laker thing down. Boy, it look like you on Channel 2 News. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean is coming to you from
right?
ABC News. In the ABC
Well,
News, we have Shann Atkinson.
I know, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So look, race is on the ballot. Humanity is on the ballot.
It is.
Social justice is on the ballot. Our democracy is on the ballot. Our freedom is on the ballot. Our voting rights are on the ballot. Our safe haven, our retirement is on the ballot. Listen, everything this time is on the ballot.
That's right.
We have to get out and vote. Not only that, listen, educate yourself. Don't just vote for somebody because somebody told you to. Right. Know why you're choosing a candidate. Know why you're choosing a candidate. Just don't go out here and just, well, I'm a Democrat. I just choose Democrats. There's times I've voted for Republicans. Because I felt that they were better suited for what we needed in America at that time. I'm 56 years old, so I'm older than Sean. I'm older than a lot of folk. Not too many folk, but I'm up there. I've seen a lot of presidents, even when I didn't understand when I was young what it meant to go and vote. Right. And you know, Sean, people have bled and died to vote. And I hear people say, well, I'm not going to vote. Well, not voting is voting. You picking a side when you don't vote.
That's right.
Not voting is not voting.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Sean, just looking at that, you're a Caucasian brother. Just looking at that video and that meme where you had the camera, the Donald Trump neighborhood, the little flag hanging off the porch. It's so traditional. And then you had the black folks who didn't even have a neighborhood. They just out there like they at a rally, and they just run around like a pack of wild dogs.
Yep.
From a Caucasian perspective, what do you see?
It breaks my heart to see exactly how this campaign is bringing that boil to the surface, that nasty, disgusting, pus-filled boil to the surface. I mean, with me being married to my wife, which is a black woman, I see it, how it affects her. I see how she's reminded daily how this country hates her. She's reminded daily how this country thinks she's less than. I mean, and it breaks my heart because it affects her. It affects my friends. It affects you. I mean, where you are reminded daily that these people do not like you simply for the color of your skin. They do not like you simply because they're trying so hard to hang on to a slaver's mentality, a slaver's rhetoric, and I cannot stand it. And that is the reason why I cannot bring myself. That's it's not the only reason, but it's one of the main reasons. The first time around and this time, I just cannot vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's rhetoric, the people that he has empowered, it infuriates me that this is still an ongoing issue in this company. In this country. It infuriates me daily when I see my friends and my family and my beautiful wife affected negatively, emotionally, when they are daily reminded that I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I want you to go away, go back, go this way, go that way. I want to put you back in chains. I cannot stand it, and I am going to stand up against it whenever I get a chance. I'm going to talk about it whenever I get a chance.
And this Project 2025 is going to have a serious impact on our judicial independence. It is. It's going to undermine the independence of the judiciary by influencing appointments and decisions. They are going to put people in place who don't like you.
Yes. That's
who
right.
don't care about whether you eat, drink, or sleep. They are not going to care about your kids being in school. They're not going to care about your kids needing free lunch. They're not going to care about the education of our people in our neighborhoods. They're not going to care about women's rights. Women, listen, your rights are important. Who can tell you what you can and can't do with your rights? But guess what? You're not going to have one. And imagine a man like Donald Trump who like to grab certain parts from certain women telling you about what you can and can't do as a woman.
That's right.
As a woman, you know he's trying to tell you what you cannot do as a woman. If you're a woman, you can let Donald Trump tell you what you can do with your body, woman.
That's right.
No, you cannot do that. Okay, let me stop my acting.
It's crazy.
But anyway, I'm a bad African actor.
Okay.
So listen, we're going to go to the next video because we're moving right along here. And listen, we came on late. Okay, once again, drop us some comments. Please give us something to bring to the next show so that we can grab some content, so we can bring something that you want to see concerning Project 2025. So we're just asking you, share this video. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let us know what you like. And if you don't like something, tell us. We can't grow if we don't know.
Absolutely.
Now, make a comment make sense now. I know if you hating or if you really coming from your heart telling us that our approach or content, you know, that you don't like it. And listen, I'm not expecting everybody to like us because you can't make everybody happy. You just can't do that. You can't do that. So we're going to go to our next video, Shann.
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless.
Okay. This man Gray say something crazy.
Yes, he is.
And I want y'all to hear this. I want you to hear this. This is what's on the ballot. I want you to hear this now. All right? Evidence that shatters Trump's claim that he has no knowledge of this. Okay, and play it again.
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Who's the left, Shann? Who's the left?
Everybody who ain't them.
Black jobs. Who's the left?
Everybody who ain't them.
They keep referring to the left, right? They said this could be bloodless. Now one of them back there gonna fight anybody because they got people protecting them. But guess what? We don't have FBI detail. We don't have Secret Service detail. I want you to hear this again. What this man said. This is the founder of the Heritage Foundation. All right? I want you to hear what he said again. I wanted to stick to your ears.
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
The conservative in charge of Project 2025 calls their efforts to start a bloodless revolution. The project, of course, is the 922-page wish list of actions to fundamentally change the American government, society, and life. This right here is it, the printout of that plan. The vessel, though, that they plan to use to accomplish it is Donald Trump, who now says that he knows nothing about this project, nor does he have any idea who's behind it. Well, that's BS, no matter which way you shovel it. And here is the evidence. First, the WHO. The group behind this project is the Heritage Foundation. It is a group that Trump is not only familiar with, but relies on them for policy advice and guidance. Just ask him.
For nearly 50 years, this legendary institution, which is what it is, has been at the forefront of the conservative movement, helping lead the fight to defend our cherished American history, culture, and traditions. Our country is going to hell. The critical job of institutions such as Heritage is to lay the groundwork, and Heritage does such an incredible job at that. Encourage new thinking, embrace new directions, and keep Heritage at the vanguard of the conservative movement. I think tremendous things are going to be coming out of Heritage. Each of you here tonight, I ask you to think big, dream bigger, aim higher, get ready to work. I know how wealthy the people in this room are, so start shelling out to Heritage.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You want to go first, or you want me to go first, Shann?
Man, I'll go first. Okay. Now you got this guy that has been saying, I don't know anything about Heritage. I know nothing about Heritage, trying to remove himself from Heritage. And then the very first video that we played, where they were saying they are aware that he has separated himself from Heritage, but they were fine with it because they understand that he has to kind of step away from that ideology because they don't want him. They don't want us to know what's. They were hoping we wouldn't have known. They were hoping they could have just slid up underneath the radar. But this is just more proof that Donald Trump is a pathological liar. He does not know how to tell the truth. He's going to tell whatever he has to tell to make sure that he can stay out in front of all this stuff and hope that we're just stupid enough not to believe what he's saying. Now, you and me and millions of other voters out there see right through him. They see right through him. I just don't understand the people that do support him are okay with his lies, because I know they're not stupid. I work with these people on a daily basis, and I know these people are not dumb people, and they are okay with overlooking these lies. And when you are okay overlooking a lie of somebody, then there is something that he can give you on the other side that'll make you decide to overlook somebody's behavior. You say, okay, what I'm going to get on the other side of Trump, I'll overlook his behavior because he's going to get us to whatever that promised land is.
Yeah. And Shann, he talked about how great this heritage movement is. Mm-hmm. He also addressed the wealthy people in the room, and he gave them the white rich talk, shovel your funds, meaning that, listen, get behind the heritage group. Get behind them and support them with your money. Money. Listen, this was in 2022, by the way, y'all. This is him addressing everything about the heritage group, and then he gets up and now, I don't know anything about the heritage group. I know there's some wonderful guys. I'm not familiar with it. Project 2025. You're more familiar than you lead people to believe. This guy is past a pathological liar. He's past it. And he has the propensity to stand before people and act like we stupid. Listen. That's right. And here's another thing. What Project 2025 is going to do, we won't be able to do this. It will be against the law for us to say anything against our government if they enact this project. Right? If they enact this project. All right. I'm going to play some more of this guy.
So just how influential was Heritage in the Trump administration? Well, just listen to Trump's own former vice president.
Heritage Foundation has been fighting side by side with this president and this administration since day one. And we have a stronger America as a result. From right in the transition.
He said from
Yep.
day one,
Day one.
from day one, he stood beside them. And this guy claims and swears by his own words that he knows nothing about Project 2025.
Yeah.
Play the rest.
And yeah,
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead. Nah.
Yeah, and the fact that you want to make sure nobody knows that you're behind it, that right there alone means that you are up to no good. That is proves that you're up to no good, because you're like, I cannot let anybody know that I'm a part of this, because he knows there's a lot more smarter people than you or me that are going to dissect this Project 2025 and absolutely get to the complete bottom of every period, question mark, exclamation point, comma, capitalized letter. They're going to have it all laid out. And he knows this. He knows this.
So I'm gonna play this again.
Heritage Foundation has been fighting side by side with this president and this administration since day one. And we have a stronger America.
Fighting side by side. And he said, they said from day one. He knew about this when he was in the presidency. And this is why he wanted to win again, because he knew if they got this thing up and running while I'm president, it's a wrap for these people.
That's right.
As a result, from right in the transition, we went to work availing ourselves of the resources available from the Heritage Foundation. We laid out plans for this administration. We drew on the scholarship and the resources of this historic think tank.
Now, the man in charge of the Heritage Foundation is also someone that Trump is quite familiar with.
I want to thank Kevin. He's going to be so incredible. Heritage Foundation president, somebody else doing an unbelievable job. He's bringing it back to levels it's never seen. Dr. Kevin Roberts.
And here's how the Heritage Foundation's president described the project, as he literally shared the same stage as Donald Trump.
Our Project 2025 has developed a comprehensive policy agenda, but even more importantly, recruiting people, 20,000 people to go into the next administration, hopefully to help take back this country for you and for your audiences. We want no credit.
When they say take back this country, first of all, you never had it. What are you taking back?
Yep.
You're not taking back nothing. You never had it.
Yeah. Taking back is code word for rolling back. They want to roll back all the progress that we have, all the progress that we have achieved of racial harmony, all the progress we have achieved of just helping people have a leg up, help people get ahead, not just be stifled by corporate greed, stifled by rich politicians, stifled by crooked politicians. They want to roll all that back to where they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I'm going to finish playing this.
As Donald Trump.
Our Project 2025 has developed a comprehensive policy agenda, but even more importantly, recruiting people, 20,000 people to go into the next administration, hopefully to help take back this country for you and for your audiences. We want no credit. We want the American people, if President Trump is elected again, President Trump and his administration, to take credit for that.
The man overseeing the project itself signals that he will be there to implement it inside of a future Trump West Wing.
My name's Paul Dans, and it's my privilege to be with you tonight. I'm from the Heritage Foundation. My former boss, President Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say, hey, Kevin, it's been great working with you, but I kind of want to go back to work for my old boss. So I'm going to give you an official 10-month notice today. But praise the Lord.
And then that guy said, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
What Lord you praising?
Exactly.
What Lord that you serve that wants you to have dominion over people? What
Absolutely.
Lord do you serve that would agree with your policies, your Project 2025? And Donald says he don't know nothing about this. That guy said I used to work for him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to my old boss, Donald Trump. I want to go back to
Yep.
my old boss in 10
Mm-hmm.
months. I'm going to play the rest of this, man, so we can get through this crazy stuff.
Another person involved is one of Trump's closest aides, and he's even clearer about the project's purpose.
I work for the Heritage Foundation on their Project 2025, which is in charge of staffing the next administration should Trump win.
And he's hardly the only loyalist who's involved in this project. So are more than 30 former administration and campaign officials, including Stephen Miller, Ken Cuccinelli, Stephen Moore, Peter Navarro, and Ben Carson, all who Trump would have a hard time convincing us he doesn't actually know.
A great patriot, a great negotiator for our country. He did a tremendous job. Steve Moore is so fantastic, and Steve, I want to thank you very much because you've been there right from the beginning. Wanted to put him on the Fed. A man who is tough and smart and loves our country. He's a real guy. He's a real patriot. Stephen Miller, my friend. Stephen Miller. Former Secretary Ben Carson did a fantastic job. Everybody loves him. I love him.
Now, as for Trump's other claim that he doesn't know anything about the project, let's just deconstruct that sentence on its surface. Quote, I know nothing about Project 2025, but then he goes on to say he disagrees with some of the things that they're saying. He knows nothing about it, but disagrees with it? First, the Heritage says the foundation briefed all of the Republican candidates on the project, including Trump himself. In fact, the Heritage president reportedly installed Trump's advisors on purpose, knowing that Trump prioritizes personal loyalty over policy. And when Trump says that some of the ideas are ridiculous and abysmal, while some of that is perhaps believable given his waffling on issues like abortion, much of the project lines up completely with Trump's own promises. Now, this is hardly an exhaustive list, but they include killing the Department of Education, crushing the independence of the FBI and the DOJ, the mass firings of civil servants, and mass deportations. And so while Trump may not be the architect of this blueprint, his loyalists are their developers. He is certainly the mogul. And remember, he always notes that he only hires the best people.
Wow. Abby Phillips, she laid that out.
Yes.
She undressed Donald Trump. He's naked right now. He's like a mannequin in Macy's.
Absolutely.
He's naked right now because she just exposed his lies. So Abby Phillips, thank you for that commentary. Thank you for that information. Thank you for the videos. We don't own the rights to that video. Thank you for that information. Listen, y'all heard it yourselves. We're bringing you great content. Now, Shann, earlier, man, you said that you had something that you wanted to say.
Yeah.
So listen, go ahead and dive into it. Oh, one quick thing. She showed you what he's going to destroy. You know, all these different things, Department of Justice. I mean, you name it. He's trying to take control over all of it. So, Shann, I turn it over to you, my friend.
All right. Well, I was going through reading some of this Project 2025, and I found something right on page 1 that just jumped out at me. And I'd like to read something to everybody on this page 1 about Project 2025. Project 2025 actually has already changed the landscape of politics and changed this country in a major way. And I want to go into something about that I know about and something that I personally have experienced when I was a young man. I'm going to start reading something to you. This is page 1. This is the foreword of the document, and it said, in the winter of 1980, the fleeting Heritage Foundation handed to President-elect Ronald Reagan the inaugural mandate for leadership. This collective work by conservative thought leaders and former government hands, most of whom were part of Heritage, set out policy prescriptions agencies by agency for the incoming president, which was Ronald Reagan. The book literally put the conservative movement and Reagan on the same page. I want y'all to read that. Listen to that again. The book literally put this conservative movement and Ronald Reagan on the same page. So that I want you to keep that in the back of your mind when I finish going through everything that I'm saying. That this revolution that followed might never have been if it wasn't saved for the band of committed volunteer activists. Now, in 1980, the Heritage Foundation, the Mandate for Leadership, which is the early manuscript of what this Project 2025 is. I want to go into something about what Ronald Reagan did to the marginalized people of this country. We all know that there was a huge crack epidemic in the late 80s, early 90s. And we know now that it was Ronald Reagan himself that actually made this crack epidemic happen. Now, you can all do the research. I'm not making up nothing. I'm not saying anything out of turn. This actually happened. When Ronald Reagan was in the White House and the Heritage Foundation, they hated communists. They hated the Marxist movement. They hated all that. The communists were coming up from South America. So I want you to remember South America. They've got this hate for South America all over again. The Marxists and the communist people were coming up through South America, and they were dead scared of it. The Heritage Foundation hates anything that has to do with socialism. And now socialism, the new word for socialism, is woke. That's their new enemy, woke. When Reagan wanted to fight off these communist people down in South America, the Congress passed a bill that would ban any more money to go after anything communist, again, because of how badly we did in the Vietnam War. They didn't want another scandal. They didn't want another a whole fiasco that the Vietnam War brought about, because we lost that war. We spent so much money. We lost so many lives. People were still raw about the whole thing, and Congress wanted nothing to do with it. But Ronald Reagan and the Heritage Foundation were together as one. So what did they do? They decided they were going to make their own capital in order to fight back this Red Scare that they were so worried about down in South America. So what did they do? They decided they were going to get into the drug business. Now I want you, if you want to, you can go look into this all you want to. During the Iran-Contra, Oliver North, they were running guns and they're running weapons to Iran. Now, part of that whole thing was not just running guns to Iran in order to fight off the Iranians, or not fight off the other, but to weaponize the Iranians so they could fight off the communist scare. They also had a project to where they were bringing in drugs. What they were doing was they were flying guns into Afghanistan and Iran, and then they would unload the planes. And then they would fill their planes with drugs, and they would bring those drugs back to the United States in military vessels, in military planes, with military personnel bringing that stuff in. And then what did they do? They unleashed all those drugs into the black communities. They used the black communities as capital to get money so they could fight this invisible enemy that they thought was their enemy down in South America. Now, one thing that I can attest to is when I was a young man, I had an uncle. He's passed away now. He's been gone for some years. But I had an uncle who worked for the military. He was in the military, but he never wore a uniform. And he had contracted ALS. ALS is what took his life. And while he was still able to communicate, he told me the stories of him working for Oliver North. He told me the stories that he would fly guns. He would fly guns all the way into Iran and Afghanistan. They would unload the guns, and they would fill his plane back up to the brim with opiates and cocaine and all kinds of stuff. And he would take that same plane, and he would fly it back, and he would drop the drugs off into this country. And I asked him, I said, well, why are you telling me this? Don't you think something's going to happen to you? And he made the statement. He said, I'm already dying. What are they going to do, kill me? I believe the man. I believed him. He had this story came out of nowhere. I didn't ask him. I didn't ask for the story. He gave me the story. And then I asked him, well, did the president knew? He said, oh, yeah, the president knew. He knew exactly what he was doing. And that was 20, 30 years ago. He told me that story.
Wow.
But now everything's been declassified, and we know that Ronald Reagan literally sacrificed the black community to fund some stupid war that meant nothing. He killed countless numbers. He put countless numbers of neighborhoods against themselves. He killed countless number of children. And then the whole time he hid behind a just say no program. Just say no to drugs. He used that the whole time. He was the biggest drug dealer this country had ever seen. And then he got his wife to get onto some kind of program, say no to drugs.
Yeah.
So I say that to say the Heritage Foundation has and you read it yourself in that document, that the Heritage Foundation and Ronald Reagan were one in the same.
Yeah.
And I want you to understand right now that the Heritage Foundation back in the 80s has already changed the landscape of this country. And now they want to do it at a whole nother level. They're taking it to a whole nother level, and we got to put a stop to it. We cannot let them get a foothold, because there is no telling where they will go next with this whole thing.
And Shann, I'm glad you brought it up, because everybody knows that the Reagan administration secretly facilitated the sale of arms to Iran, which was engaged in the Iran-Iraq war and was also designated as a state sponsor of terrorism. This was state sponsors of terrorism aimed to improve the relationships with Iran and secure American hostages held by Hezbollah in Lebanon. So they sacrificed, the Reagan administration sacrificed this country to free those war heroes, right? And it affected the black community tremendously. When crack came out, man, I mean, it was horrible.
And not only that, they used the drug money they were making from those communities as their capital to fight this communism in South America, which it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. I mean, that right there is probably one of the largest war crimes we have ever seen in this country. I mean, people should have. I know everybody's dead that has anything to do with it, but people's heads should have rolled over something like that. And that just shows the hatred that the Heritage Foundation has for our people of color in this country. That just shows how they would rather see that entire group of people burn and just completely be eradicated, just to give them some money to fight some stupid war.
And Shann, I'll say this, rest President Reagan's soul. They said that he was not directly implicated in the wrongdoing, but his senior aides were, like Oliver North and his national security staff members played a prominent role in orchestrating that operation. Now, did he know about it? Yes.
He knew about it. We have documentation to prove that Reagan knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, he knew what was going on, but it was orchestrated by Oliver North. He was the choreographer. He was the choreographer of that. He was the guy who was running point guard. But still, Reagan had a responsibility to say, no, we're not going to do this. But he sat back and he let it happen because he felt like that was the only way that they could get whatever they needed to get from Iran, right? So, and it just, I mean, the Iran-Contra scandal operations was horrific. And like you said, Shann, it's the reason how crack got on the streets of America. And so many people died. Listen, as we said, we bringing this information to you guys. Shann, thanks for that commentary. That was great. That was a great history lesson, because until you said it, I forgot all about the Iran-Contra scandal. I forgot all about it. I mean, it was horrific. He threw rocks and hit his hands. So, you know, like we said, we bringing great content to you guys. You know, we want you to share this podcast. We want you to, you know, put some comments in there. Let us know what you want to hear about Project 2025. and let us know if we're doing a good job with presenting the information we're presenting. Shann, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say that make sure that you understand that the Heritage Foundation wants to run this country. We can't let a group run this country. We have to allow democracy to run the country, the people to run the country. And Project 2025 is literally just a room full of people. And we cannot allow a room full of people to run this country.
Listen, Shann said what he said. Until next time, no matter what you think or who you think we represent, please keep God and Christ first in your life. Listen, this is Mind Changers Podcast. I'm the host, Lamar Blakney, with my man, Shann Atkinson, Mr. Red Reds. Until next time.
We told y'all, we came to expose the lies and reveal the truth. We told y'all, we bring in biblical principles of factual truth. We told y'all, we came to expose the lies and reveal the truth. We told y'all, we bring in biblical principles of factual truth.